also done a lot of thinking about money over the past like few years. Well, I've kind of been like observing how people use money, sentiments around money, things around money for pretty much my entire life, right? And so I think that it is definitely necessary for people to shift their perspectives on money, surrounding money, because there's a lot of indoctrination, honestly, going around, and that has been going around for a very, very long time about money that is, I want to say, holding us back. And that's like a very precise wording that I'm using, and very intentional as well. And so, I want to say that people are using money very kind of backwards. Money is supposed to help people, right? It's supposed to flow. It's Think of it as like an energy. It is kind of like an energy, where it's supposed to flow it's supposed to circulate, right? Like, in order for an economy to be healthy, in order for people to be healthy, right? It needs to circulate. And since we don't necessarily live in like a barter, like trading, communist system where people are provided already with what they need yet, I guess. Hopefully we will get to that. But there honestly is, you know what I'm saying, even in communism, there is still, which a lot of people don't know, is still a necessity. It's still something that people want. It's still something like that. Anyways, what I want to say is that money is supposed to ebb and flow from your bank account or from your possessions or whatever, but we kind of don't see it as that. And the way that it ebbs and flows is absolutely healthy, which a lot of people don't realize. It's not a very apparent thing to think about, right? Because typically what people think of when they think of money is something that you strive for, something that you work for, something that you like are supposed to, I mean, like, you can look forward to it, but like something that you're looking forward to all the time, right? That you're like constantly like reaching for. And that's pretty much what it is, right? Because like people are kind of like being put on like a like a treadmill in a way where they're kind of like reaching for money wherever they can, right? And so like people get jobs in order to get money, blah blah, all that kind of stuff, right? But if you think about it, money is a barter system. It is something that people trade, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like, you have a good, whether that be your skill or your or something that you produce that takes a lot of skill, or you have you don't want something anymore, you want to like sell it, like all that kind of stuff, right? That's how people get money. and that's, I guess, some of the ways in which you get money. And so it isn't really a something that like is so flat and so one-dimensional, which is how people treat it. I am not really going to go into it. You can maybe deduce that yourself or ask somebody what they think about it. But money is to be spent, right? Like, why, like, you know what I'm saying? Why do we have it if it's not to be spent? And why do people like getting money if it's not to be spent? And if it's like, you know, useless or something, or if it's like arbitrary, which it isn't, right? Because people put value in money, which has to do with the bartering system, right? Because let's say like one of my friends has a peach that looks fucking delicious, right? And I really want that peach, and I have a bunch of shit, right? And they really like my quail eggs, for example. And so like, you know what I'm saying, we trade that kind of shit, right? But like if I had a bunch of money so that they could buy other things, right? That is technically trading, right? So if I have $1,000 for that peach and I give them $1,000 for that peach, right? Then, you know what I'm saying, that is a that is a trade. Like, you know, it just plain and simple is a trade. You're trading something that you have that you value, which is your money, because you can buy a bunch of things with it, right? And they and I, you know what I'm saying, value that peach. So I'm willing to pay $1,000 for that peach, right? So therefore, money has value, and you're trading your money for something that you value. And so in order for a healthy economy to like flourish and just be healthy, period, the money is going to have to circulate, okay? So no saving, no like, you know, I don't understand any of it. It's very scarce. It's just teeming with like scarcity and scarce mentality. And it isn't helpful. It isn't useful. It doesn't help people. It doesn't help yourself. It doesn't do any of that, right? It's not helping the environment. It doesn't do any of that kind of stuff, right? And so you're gonna have to buy shit. You can't like keep your money and hope that you can buy something later, right? Because that, you know what I'm saying, like working a job, your money income is pretty much stagnant in comparison to like all the things that you can buy, and all the things that you can purchase, all the things that you can trade, right? All the things that you can possess. I don't understand any of that clutter mess. I don't understand any of that, you know, the minimalism shit. It's poverty. You know what I'm saying? That shit is poor. To put it very, very bluntly, right? Those kind of sentiments are poor as fuck. And you should buy things in order to circulate the economy so that there is, you know what I'm saying, more of an incentive to produce more things and to buy more things, because a lot of people are living in poverty, honestly, and that is because people aren't buying shit. You know what I'm saying? There's all these businesses, there's all these things that people want and that people can buy, but they are holding themselves back from doing that. And so like, when you spend money as money is energy, as money, like money is an energy, right? As money is a flow, is supposed to flow, right? people have a lot of blockages with money up, so you're gonna have to kind of give it a push in order for money to come and circulate back to you, basically. Or, you know what I'm saying, like, kind of, it's not just gonna randomly fucking appear in your bank account. It's going to look like you buying things. People know that you're interested in buying things. Then those companies, you get attention, and then you do other things, right? You can make music, and then that shit can get you money, right? From the audience that you already have, from looking really cool, from the clothes that you want to buy. For example, right? I'm trying to think of another example of this. You buy really good food that you like, right? You want to try some new food. That is an insanely lucrative avenue where you can what's it called? You can taste these new foods, taste things that you have never in your life tasted, right? My mom has, exposed me to Michelin restaurants. And so tasting saffron at Maidan and other Middle Eastern restaurants and shit like that, it like broadened my perspective. And so like now I ideate like these insanely like crazy recipes, and I include saffron in them, and I also include saffron in my fragrance, right? And I also include saffron in my art. And I know what saffron is, I know what jasmine is, I know what osmanthus rose is, right? So like, all these things, buying things, investing in these different things, expensive things, right? Because you want high quality shit, right? So like, you know what I'm saying? You would really appreciate and cherish high quality sweatpants over some random ass like Gap, Adidas sweatpants, right? And so you know what I'm saying, like and that shit's gonna fall apart, you know what I'm saying? Like also the like, you know what I'm saying, expensiveness is a value, right? People value expensive things, and you should value expensive things. But you know what I'm saying, like high quality things aren't necessarily always expensive. So I found these like lace bows that are like pretty soft, right? And they're like pretty sturdy. They don't like seem like they're gonna like rip apart and shit like that. From AliExpress. And so we typically think of like Shein, AliExpress, Temu as like poor people things, like this fast fashion, blah blah. But these things are already made. You know what I'm saying? Like these things are already there. So like you might as well go out of, like, you know what I'm saying? Go on the internet and buy the shit. You know what I'm saying? Just buy it. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like buy things that you like. I invested in piercings because it, helps with the look thing. People can apparently see with the piercings that I have that I like piercings. I like gauging my ears. I like having gauge ears. So like, you don't know who is out there that could just like give shit away to you. You know what I'm saying? Who's willing to just like give you shit just because you like it, and just because they have extra, or because they want promotion, blah blah, all that kind of stuff, right? There's probably a shit ton of people, because people don't buy things, right? People aren't buying gauges that much, I guess. Hopefully that will change at some point. But what's it called? Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like buy the foods that you crave, because that helps with your body, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the nutrients are like, in your body. You know what I'm saying? Your waste is waste. Think of it like that, right? It sounds self-explanatory, but it, you know what I'm saying, it's understandable of why you didn't think of, that the waste that you excrete from your body is waste, right? So buy the foods that you like, buy the foods that you want to eat. Don't just eat to eat. Invest in good foods, and you know, literally shit will just like you'll just create things from things that you find out about, right? Like even like if you like were to buy like a big box of candy because you just like are craving candy and sugar so much, right? You could be like, like these flavors kind of go really well together, right? And then you can like mix and match and like, do a bunch of things and like, create a whole new recipe. And that shit is worth a lot of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? And you can, you know what I'm saying? Like the bitch that created Hot Cheetos, it's a Central American thing, right? So he kind of like adopted these different like snacks that he likes, these different flavors that he likes, like lime, like pepper, like and he put it in a chip in like a bitch, what do you call it, like a wafer or something like that, right? And so that shit is very valuable. You need to go out there and try things. You need to buy things. You need to invest in things, right? um and you need to not be afraid to do so anyway. You're gonna at some point get more comfortable doing so. Like just like buying things that you like, buying things just for the sake of buying things because you're curious about what it is, right? And even just like because like once you have these things, you have it. Right? Unless you sell it. And so you can always resell it, but like, you know what I'm saying, like you don't know if that thing is going to go off market, or if it's going to be increasingly hard to find, or if it's going to be more expensive. So just buy a bunch of shit, honestly, and it will tremendously help with the economy. So yeah.